share something with you that many of us may not know. Do you know that children laugh 100 times a day on average, and that adults might laugh 20 times a day? I wonder what happens as we grow up, that we begin to believe that laughter is not important. I think sometimes we see Jesus healing. We see Jesus working miracles. We see Jesus doing the extraordinary. We forget that his mama taught him how to cover his mouth with a tissue when he coughed and sneezed. But how often have we ever thought about the real humanity of a Jesus who knew how to laugh? You see, everything that Jesus didn't get recorded in the scripture. I mean, did we really want to know how often he had to wash his face and brush his teeth? And so the writers said the most profound things, the things that they hoped would set us on a journey of learning what it means to live and walk and move and act and serve and love like Jesus did. So we don't see a picture of his whole life. But I can assure you, if Peter was around Jesus, he laughed a whole lot. Haven't you heard about Peter? Rule 11 invites us even now to laugh at ourselves and at life. Not in the spirit of ridicule or disrespect do we laugh at ourselves. We're not whining, no self-pity, but laughter as a miracle drug, a remedy. So I want to share with you. My husband Rudy and I have been married for 35 years. And let me tell you, we have never spent this much time together. It's been incredible in so many ways. But do you know, one of the things I found out is that when we are not given the freedoms that we've been accustomed to, and we find our routine uprooted a bit, we can find ourselves perhaps a little more critical, maybe a little more wound up. You know what I mean? And so I was washing dishes one day, and as I'm standing at the sink washing dishes, a thought crossed my mind about something that I really wish my partner had done. And I went there. Thank God, though, I just went there in my head. I didn't say anything out loud. And so because I went there in my head, it gave me a moment to reel myself back up instead of spiraling myself down. And so I just laughed at myself. I said, Juanita, will it really matter if the trash got put out 5 days from now? Will it matter a month from now? Will it matter a year from now? And then I realized how foolish my concern had been. You see, it really didn't matter at all. It really didn't even matter in that moment, except something in me felt the need to control, because, you know, there's so much that's out of our control. And so I'm grateful that in that moment, I was reminded to laugh at my thinking. And that's just what I did. And when I laughed, the next thing I know, Rudy walks in the room and I could be present to him and I could be excited about him being there. Why? Because I allowed laughter to change what was going on in my head and in my heart. We don't want to miss a moment where laughter just might be the medicine we've been longing for. Just might be our miracle drug. It goes on to say that laughter will ease your pain and it'll cure your depression. It'll help you to put into perspective that seemingly terrible defeat of the moment. So what does it look like to allow laughter to move us beyond pain, physical, mental, or emotional pain? What does it look like to allow laughter to move us beyond depression? You know, I've been depressed before. And I remember in the period of I call it the crash, the Great Depression. During that time, I remember one of my mentors saying, stop taking yourself so seriously. And I thought to myself, well, what does that have to do with depression? I came here for advice and insight on how to move through this. And I was told to not take myself so seriously. You know what I came to realize is I had been taking myself too seriously. And not just in that moment, but for a very long time. And you know what I realized is that a part of my depression had been because my thoughts had been spiraling down. instead of spiraling up. Now, I'm not saying to those of you who are on medication for depression or who are getting counseling or who are seeing a psychiatrist, I did all those things as well, and I still have a good, solid relationship with my therapist, believe me. But what I'm saying is, what if we make laughter a part of our prescription? What if you pull out the funny videos, you know, the ones from all those birthday parties and Thanksgivings, and how many of those things do we still have around the house anyway? What if we pull those out and begin to laugh some? What if we turn to our friend, the one that's funny, and FaceTime them or call them on the phone or Zoom them in and bring some laughter into our environment? There just might be a little more healing. There might be a change in the atmosphere of our thoughts and our hearts. The second thing that the rule says is that laughter can banish the tension and concern and worry about whatever predicament we find ourselves going through. I am amazed that the practice of laughter has so many incredible benefits. And so I wrote down a few. That laughter increases the immunoglobulin A, protects against respiratory tract infections. That might be important about right now. And it increases the immune system's function. Laughter increases the gamma interferon. And so gamma interferon is the frontline defense against, lean forward, you're going to want to know this, viruses. It increases our B cells that produce antibodies directly against harmful bacteria. Laughter does this. It increases the complement to a combination of proteins that act as a catalyst in antibody reactions. Laughter does this. It lowers the blood pressure. It stimulates the brain and expands and enriches the blood vessels with oxygen, and it sends blood racing to the extremities. Laughter does this. It's a form of stationary jogging inside. It reduces our mental and physical stress, anxiety, and depression. It enhances emotional intelligence. Can you believe that? If you laugh more, you get emotionally healthier. It improves our attitude and our mood, and it can increase self-esteem. It increases our energy levels, and it increases optimism and hope, and it can enable us to know love and peace and joy and happiness and gentleness and kindness and patience in trying times. So I can say a whole lot about laughter, but you know me, I'd rather show you. So I'm going to invite you, if you will, sit up tall and straight wherever you are. And if you can, put your feet flat on the floor. Now, I want to share with you a process called laughter yoga. You can find out more about it by Googling. There are all kinds of resources to talk about the practice of laughter yoga. You know, each week I've been giving us a map as I've preached. The M is for memorize. I want to invite you to memorize the scripture. What about there's a time to weep and a time to laugh? That's simple. I can say to myself as an affirmation, Juanita, there's a time to weep, and this ain't it. This is the time to laugh. The P in the map is for practice. So I want to invite you into a laughter yoga practice. Laughter yoga has the understanding that we're not laughing at anybody. We're laughing at our day-to-day experiences. So this is what laughter yoga might look like. You wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, and you get ready to brush your teeth. And you just laugh. And you want to laugh down in your gut because that's what causes the oxygen to circulate and to flow. And so you just laugh at brushing your teeth. Then comes time to what? Wash your hands. And so you stand in front of the mirror and you just begin to laugh at washing your hands. The most common, routine, ordinary things. Now somebody's saying, well, why would I want to do that? Well, I just got through telling you because it can help fight off viruses. It can help improve your mood. It can help you with your optimism, and it can also help you to stay open to creativity.